Welcome to another video on how to solve three-sum. It has been solved before previously, but I just want to practice, so this was why I created this video. So the solution to three-sum is very similar to how two-sum is solved. So what you would do here in three-sum would be you would sort the array. So after sorting your array, you can use how you solve two sums, which will be using two pointers, using two pointer method. So for example, let me see, -1, 0, 1, 2, right, let's just use a smaller number. We will first sort them, so they'll become negative. Oh, it is already sorted, right? So 1, 2, right? Then you will use a for loop. That will start at pointing at I, right? And then you will have a left pointer J, and then a final pointer K. So what happened is your goal here is to make sure that to identify the numbers that is 0. The numbers that is 0, you want to return them. For example, -1 plus 0 plus 2. This will give us 1, which is not what we want, right? So we'll need to find a proper proper arrays of numbers, 3 of them, that sums up to 0. One of it is here, -1, 0, and 1. So yeah. So if you are familiar with how two-sum is done, let me see. So let's see. Right. So our I would point to the sum number 1, and your I won't move, right? So you take the number of I, which is -1, you add the number of j, which is 0, and then the number of k, which is 2, right? And if this is 1, which is not what you want, because remember we want 0, so 1 is bigger than our target, which is 0, right? So naturally, because remember our array is already sorted, that means the biggest number is at the end. You want to move this backwards. So next you will produce 1 plus 0 plus 1, and this will give you 0. And then this is your correct this is one of your correct answer. And from that you can deduce your output. Okay. Yeah, so to code this out, how we'll do it is okay, wait, let me see how I put it. So the first thing, we are using Java, so we want to use array sort nums, right? Then what we want is nums.length, count the length, and then we start a for loop in I equals 0, I less than n, I plus plus, right? So in the for loop, we want to create j and k. So j would always start off with being in front of I, right? So it's how we are solving this is similar to how we solve two sums, just that we need to include this I format. So integer j would be equals to I plus 1, and integer k would be the last integer of the array. So we will take n minus 1. Then we can do a while loop. This while loop to check two sums will be used to check the two sums and move our k and j individually forwards and backwards until they cannot overlap each other. Once we reach that point, we will move our I up and then so on and so on. Okay, so there is an issue. For example, I believe there was an example which I encountered while practicing. Let's see. -1, -1, 0, 1, 1, 3, 4. Right. So is there a way for us to erase this in? Okay, trying to make the whiteboard cleaner. Okay, so remember the I starts here, right? And the J starts here, and the K starts here, right? So what happened here is -1. Remember how we sum it up? Can we? Is there a? Okay, I guess not. Okay, I will write on LeetCode. So -1 plus -1 plus 4. So this will give you 2, right? So we will have an internal while loop similar to two sums that will move this forward. So the next item you will check is -1 plus 3, which is equals to 1. Now you're closed. Now you move here. -1 plus -1 plus 1. In this case, you get -1. So when you hit -1, what do? You actually need to move the j forward. So you still get -1 plus 0 plus 1. Right? In this case, you get 0. So this is your flag out. This is what you want. Sorry, I'm not sure how to show that this is what I want. Right. So this is what I want. I'll add it to the array. While remember we are checking j. So long as j is still smaller than k, we'll continue the while loop. Then now because we already have 1, so isn't 0, right? We'll do this first, and then we'll check, make sure j is still less than k, and then right here will be false, and then we'll break. Yeah, then we will move. Next up, we will move I here. So I will start here, right? And then J will start here with K starting at the back again. Okay, so we do need to check one thing. If notice how I, when it started at index 0, is -1, and when you move it forward again, it's still -1. Well, we have already checked all possible combinations of that scenario with I being -1. So if we encounter a scenario like this, we actually want to hit continue, which would skip the entire loop and move I into 0. So I will start at 0. Otherwise, there won't be a fresh start. So because of that specific logic, let me let's see, how do I write this down? If nums I is equals to nums I minus 1, which is the back of I, we can hit continue, right? Okay, so the other problem is if I is 0, we'll reach, because if I is 0 and we do a check like this, we'll get index out of bound. So what we need to add in is if I is bigger than 0, then we do this check. So we only do this check if I is equals to 1. Yeah. Okay, so next up we'll do a while check while j is less than k. This is what we're checking now, this specific part. While j is less than k, if integer sum x equals to num I plus nums j plus nums k. Okay, if sum is more than 0, we'll do something. Else, if sum is less than 0, we'll do something else. Else, if it's exactly 0, we want to add into our array output. Okay. Oh, we have not created an array, so we'll create a list holding integers. This equals to new array list. Okay. Okay, so if the sum is bigger than 0, remember if it's bigger than 0, that means our ending has an issue, so we want to reduce k. The opposite is true for j. If it's smaller than 0, we want to increase j. Now as for the else, what happens if it's 0? We want to add into the array list. So array list dot add new array list. I think we can do it as list numbers I, numbers j, numbers k. Right, so we will add the array list into our array list here, and then after that we'll move this up and this up, this up and this down. So j will increase and k will decrease. We also hit into another issue similar to the issue of I, where j can possibly hit similarities, right? So so long as j is still less than k and nums j is equal to nums j minus 1, what happened here is we want to increase j. Yeah. I think we are done. After this, we will do a return list, and let's see. I believe we made some mistake. Let's see. Oh, there's something wrong. Oh, no closing bracket. Integers. Arrays, cannot find symbol. Arrays dot sort. Line 8. Cannot find symbol. Integer. Would this be okay? Okay, looks like I am half correct, the other half wrong. let's see. This is the input. I'm correct here. I'm correct here. Maybe I'm correct here. But similar item is not. There is not a similar item. Hmm. It's a for loop. So what's happening here is my answer is partially correct in the sense that it stores everything, just that I do not have a way to get rid of duplicates. Hmm. Let's see. It in 426 66. Oh, wait. Okay, let's test this first. It worked. I was also thinking we can check um k plus 1 k minus. I would think this will give me the same results. Would this give me the same results? Yeah. So we just need a 1. Yeah. That's how I solve the threesome. Thank you for watching.